Hey guys, it's Jeff from Pressure Luck, and today it's been a crazy situation. I mean, I don't know if you saw. If you don't follow my Instagram, because I just went to Costco and I released a video of me discovering, which I had never seen before in a Costco, at least not the one I go to, emergency food supply bucket, and I shared it on Instagram in a reel, and it went ballistic. Literally every news outlet that's significance has covered it. Time, People, Today's Show, it's everywhere. Just like Google Costco apocalypse, and you'll see me and with this food bucket, and I'm sampling things from it. But in a little bit of a pivot from that, I wanted to do a dessert, a sweet treat that's quick, easy, and simple. And I'm talking rice pudding. Rice pudding is an underrated thing. If you've never had it before, or if it sounds like dodgy to you, like the idea of rice in a pudding, trust me when I tell you that it's going to be basically like having a custard. Almost like an ice cream, but it's like not frozen. It's so delicious and rich and just out of this world delicious, but we're gonna make it really special today by doing a rice pudding that I just love so very much, and I thought it would be a really smart idea to do and fun. I'm doing a chocolate chip cookie dough rice pudding. Yeah, that's all I have to say. So let's go right to the Instant Pot, and within just like no time at all, practically minutes and practically minimal work, make the most amazing chocolate chip cookie rice pudding ever. And it is to make. Okay, are you ready to see how easy this is to do? All I want to do is I want to add in 1 cup of arboreal rice. It must be arboreal rice. This is the rice you would use to make risotto. We are not going to rinse this. We're just going to add 1 cup of it to the Instant Pot. 1 cup of arboreal rice unrinsed. And then we're going to follow that up with 1.5 cups of water, as well as a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, and 1/8 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. And I'm going to stir everything up in the pot nice and good to make sure that all of the arboreal rice is submerged under the water. And that's literally all I had to do before pressure cooking. I'm going to secure my lid, make sure the valve is in the sealing position. Some lids automatically do that for you, like this one. And then I'm going to come down on my control panel and hit the pressure cook or manual button, depending on your model. And I want to go and adjust the time for just 3 minutes. See that? 3 minutes at high pressure. If your model has a start button, hit that. If it doesn't, after a few moments of doing nothing, it'll go right into the function. Meanwhile, as the arboreal rice is cooking, take a mixing bowl and we're gonna put 2 large eggs in it. Well, actually, we're gonna crack them in there. There we go. Look at that, 2 little eyes looking at me. And now that the egg's in the bowl, I'm gonna add in a 1/2 cup of heavy cream, as well as a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then I'm gonna whisk everything up until it basically becomes a custard. I'm gonna whisk this for about 30 seconds. And perfect, we're looking good here. There's my eggy custard, and I'm just gonna set this aside until my rice is done cooking. And now that our pressure cooking cycle is complete, we're going to allow a 10-minute natural release, meaning we do nothing for 10 minutes, then we'll finish it up with a quick release. The display will begin to count up. So once that reads 10, come back and do a quick release, set a timer and walk away, clean up your prep, or put some pep in your step. I don't know, something. And now that 10 minutes of a natural release have passed, we're all good to go. We're going to finish with a quick release. Now, it's entirely possible your pin might have dropped before the 10 minutes are up, like mine did in this situation. If that happens, still give it the full 10 minutes, all right? In the meantime, I'm going to now take my lid off. I don't have to release the steam because it already released on its own and the pin dropped. But if it doesn't, you'll release the steam. All right, and there's my perfectly cooked arboreal rice. The next thing up, I want to add in 1.5 cups of heavy cream, as well as 3/4 cup of a white granulated sugar. I know that seems like a lot, but it's gonna be a sweet treat. And 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup. I use this instead of brown sugar. Next up, I'm gonna put a fine mesh strainer over the pots. And then to that, I'm gonna add in my egg custard. And the reason why I'm using a fine mesh strainer here is to catch any of the excess ooey gooey parts of the egg, the remnants, so it doesn't compromise the texture of our rice pudding. All right? So you see that? That thickness in here that it caught? Good, we want it to catch that stuff. Filter that out. So I'm gonna come down on my control panel and hit the saute button and make sure I'm on the more or high setting, and then I wanna just give it some heat and saute. If your model has a start button, hit that to begin. If it doesn't, it'll start on its own. Now as soon as I pour in that custard, I wanna mix everything up for about 3 to 5 minutes. And I want to constantly stir it because now that we have heat going on the bottom on saute mode, you know, dairy is prone to scorch the bottom of a stainless steel pot. And that's also why we don't add dairy like the heavy cream before we pressure cook it. You could take a break every so often. Just make sure you give it a nice little stir. Okay, and after about 3 to 5 minutes of stirring around our rice in the custardy, creamy deliciousness that's going on here, we're going to kill the heat. And then we're going to transfer our liner pot to like a trivet or a cutting board or something of that nature to let it rest for about 30 minutes on the countertop. Now, if it looks a little bit soupy to you, that's fine. It should. It's going to continue to absorb all the liquid around it as it rests, and then we're going to put it in the fridge and chill it. But this is exactly how it should look. Rice continues to absorb anything around it. Okay, and after 30 minutes of the rice pudding cooling on the counter, on a trivet, we're going to take a serving bowl and we're going to transfer the rice pudding into it. You see how it's thickened up? Look at that. It's already thickening up super nicely, so don't worry if it's a little liquidy when it's done pressure cooking right away. That is perfect. From there, we're going to put a lid on top of our little serving bowl, and we're going to place it in the fridge for between 3 to 5 hours until it's nice and chilled, where it's going to continue to firm up. So 3 to 5 hours. This rice pudding's got to be chilled. And then we're going to add in our final mix-in, which is going to be the cookie dough. See you in a bit. Okay, and about 3 hours have passed since I popped this in the fridge, and I'm going to take the lid off, and look at that. Rice pudding that has totally become the right consistency. You see that? Beautiful. Okay, now it's time for the finishing touch. And for the mix-in, because this is going to be chocolate chip cookie dough rice pudding, I'm going to be using some cookie dough. Now, I just got some bake or ready to eat. This is ready to eat cookie dough. I got it from the store. You can, of course, make your own. But then you'd have to make sure it's ready to eat. So I have to say that for, disclaimer purposes, because you're not supposed to like eat raw cookie dough. Ready to eat. And I just got like a tube of it from the market, in the section where it's refrigerated. And you can use like, half the tube, the whole tube, whatever you want. I just rolled them into little balls, and I'm gonna now just like add them into my rice pudding. And this is the fun part, because you can add as little or as much as you want. And I'm gonna stir that into the rice pudding, the cookie dough. Nice. And another thing I want to add to this is going to be a half a cup of some mini chocolate chips morsels, and then just mix that in. Mix the chocolate chips in with the cookie dough and the rice pudding, and you have the most amazing chocolate chip cookie dough rice pudding ever. Look at all of this amazingness. And then you could also add in a few extra pieces of the cookie dough if you want to top it off. And voila, my friends, chocolate chip cookie dough rice pudding. If this isn't gonna make you like rice pudding, I don't know what is. All right, let's try it out. And okay, my friends, here it is. Chocolate chip cookie dough rice pudding. Let's do it. Okay, gonna make sure I get a little bit of everything in this bite. Here we go. This just might be my new favorite way to eat a chocolate chip cookie. Now, I'm actually having this crazy thought now of actually scooping this and putting it on 2 big cookies and making a chocolate chip cookie rice pudding chipwich. Dare I do it? Hang on, let's go crazy. Okay, I got 2 chocolate chip cookies here. The Chips Ahoy, they were on sale. I mean, remember Chips Ahoy? I'm putting a little bit of the rice pudding, I gotta focus this a little bit, on one of the cookies, and I'll sandwich it with the other. Oh boy. Okay, let's go crazy. Oh, I just had to pick myself up off the floor. Okay, wow. This is some seriously amazing rice pudding. It's smooth, it's creamy, it's rich, it's delicious. It's a crowd pleaser, and it is so easy to make. You saw how easy this is to make. It's like no time at all to do. I mean, the only time it takes is just sitting in the fridge to get chilled. That's all the time it takes. It's gonna be a huge hit at any type of party you bring this out at. Huge hit. You could even, like, if you wanted, I mean, this is the serving dish. Like, I shouldn't be eating out of this. Don't tell the people I'll be serving it to later. You can actually treat this however you want. You can also add some chocolate syrup, butterscotch syrup, whipped cream if you want in there. You can just go to town, have fun, go nuts. I mean, I just made a chipwich with the dang thing, it's amazing. Thank you so much again for watching, my friends. If you like these recipes, check out PressureLookCooking.com, because I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of recipes there. Each and every one of them has a video just like this to go along with it, so there's no like guesswork. I guide you through the whole thing. We hold each other's hand, we make it nice and fun. Speaking of which, all my videos live at YouTube, so make sure you follow and subscribe me at YouTube at Pressure Luck Cooking, and at Pressure Luck Cooking on the Insta, and Facebook.com/PressureLuckCooking. And so Facebook, I love going on the Facebook, so definitely follow me there. Make sure you make it a favorite so you see me first. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. And the next time you want to make a dessert that's gonna make you scream in glee like a Wookiee, well, make a rice pudding that's loaded with some chocolate chip cookies. Is that what Chewbacca does? Something like that? Really, really good. Oh my gosh. Decadent.